All right. Had to go change batteries. Might be buying a different bike. Well, I mean, I tried trading the Marilite. That's a cute little. I know it's. I've been looking at that one all weekend so far. I tried trading the BMX bike for it. Didn't work, and the dude wasn't willing to trade. He lives down the road from my house. You know, and I asked him if he was willing to trade for, you know, because he has a 2021 GT Performer BMX Cruiser, you know, the bigger BMX bikes, the big BMX bikes. And I was telling Dad, you know, I was looking at it, I was telling Dad I thought about seeing if I could trade you know, my BMX bike for one of the big ones. And I was telling Dad that the one I was looking at kind of looks like an SC, but it did, I couldn't. There wasn't any markings or anything in the ad that said if it's an SC or not. You know, on what, you know, that said what it was. You know, like who made it, what brand it is, you know, what model, whatever. And fuck, am I in a low gear? Yeah. And he's like asking if he's willing to see if he's willing to trade. So I asked him if it's still available. Damn it, now I got weight and bleed stuck in my head. You know, so he's like, no, I'm not interested in training. And I was like, well, what's, you know, and I asked if he's firm on the price. He's like, he'd like to, you know, at least try to get close to, you know, the sale price, you know, his asking price. You know, he would like to get it, but there is always a little bit of wiggle room, you know what I mean? You know, if I decide to go look at it. I mean, look at it and look and see what the fuck's wrong with it. And I'm like, okay, this is wrong, this is screwed up, I gotta fix this. Tires are gonna be changed. Like, well, there's nothing wrong with the tires. I'm gonna tell him I don't care. Slick tires are a thing of the fucking past. He's like, no, they're not. I said, yeah, they are. They're trying to make them have a comeback, and it's not working. I tell them, look, I have family members that grew up and their lives revolved around the wrong bikes, like how mine does. My dad's had, my dad would be with me. I'd be like, he's ridden bikes that are worth double what this thing's worth right now, or double what this thing is sitting at right now for a price, brand new. He's like, well, what kind of bike is it? A Hutch Trickstar. If you had an OG original old school, when you're looking, you know, if it's a full complete bike, you're looking at about $3,000. If it's all original, a lot of people will pay a lot of money for your all original, all pristine, brand new looking old school BMX bikes. He's like, really? I'm like, yeah, he's ridden bikes that are worth thousands nowadays. And the thing is, he can start getting Hutches again. But with the thing that is with Hutches, is being that they're being made again, they still want $1,200, $1,300, $1,400 for them. For just a frame and fork. You know, then you gotta buy wheels, you gotta buy tires, you gotta buy a stem, you gotta buy bars, you gotta buy grips, seat posts, pedals, chain, crank. You know, all your bearings for your headset and your crank. You know, and then if you gotta buy wheels, you gotta buy tubes, you gotta buy wheel liners. Hey, slow it the fuck down. Kind of hard for me to see too, because I got the sun in my face as well. You know, you buy a nice set of wheels, you're looking at easily $3 grand. You know, you start custom building a bike, you know, at least, you know, a modern BMX too. Easily $3 grand. If you do good high-end parts. Probably most likely buggier and fuck down there.